In this video, I want to share my thoughts on what to do if the woman you're in a relationship with starts having a male friend. First and foremost, you need to understand that if this happens, it means the woman was, so to speak, predisposed to it from the beginning. In other words, this particular woman lacks a certain filter in her mind, one that would tell her that her communication with these friends might be unpleasant for you, and that she doesn't value your emotional comfort. Alternatively, the second scenario is that she always had a lot of male friends and never hid it. But for some reason, many men aren't wary of this, and they really should be. Well, in my opinion, it would be better to just walk away from a situation like that from the very start. I'll tell you a story that happened to a good acquaintance of mine. Let's call him James, and her, Emma. The names have been changed. I think to some extent, some men will recognize themselves in James and his actions. So, for 2 years, there were no friends in the picture. Things were going more or less okay. But then, on one perfectly unpleasant day for James, he hears from Emma that she's arranged to have lunch on the weekend with a coworker. Let's call him Paul. She told James this openly, and apparently at that moment, she genuinely saw Paul only as a friend. Otherwise, she would most likely have hidden the fact that she was going to meet him. James reacted by saying something like, "How come? Who is this Paul anyway?" Emma, in turn, reproached him with the question, "Don't you trust me?" Basically, she started framing the situation as if James was the one doing something wrong. Then she pretended to be offended, and James fell for it, and even started apologizing. He thought that maybe he really had started worrying for no reason. In the end, Emma said she loved only him and went to the lunch. Another 2 months passed, and during that time, Emma and Paul met another 4 or 5 times. James couldn't shake the anxiety from this situation and decided to find out what they were writing to each other on Facebook. He couldn't do it through her phone because he didn't know her phone's passcode or her social media password. Plus, Emma never let her phone out of her sight. So he decided to use her laptop while she was out. It didn't have a password, and the Facebook password was saved in the browser. He discovered obvious flirting and suggestive messages, though. Judging by the correspondence, things hadn't gone further yet. When Emma came home, James confronted her with the evidence. At first, she said something like, "Have you completely lost it snooping through my account?" But when she realized that was a weak argument in this situation, she started making excuses. Well, this time, James didn't wait for the grass to grow under his feet, and they broke up over it. You can take away a few key points from this story. First, the very fact that a woman has friends of this sort is a high-risk situation for you. Second, even if a woman genuinely sees another man as just a friend at first, things can change over time. Third, if a woman doesn't take your concerns seriously and prioritizes her own desires over your comfort, you're better off not being with her. And fourth, if you're feeling worried, there are probably real reasons for it, and you shouldn't ignore them. So, to answer the question from the title about what to do if a woman gets a male friend, frankly, the fact that she even allows herself to have friendships like this is already a pretty bad sign. Of course, you can have a conversation with her and explain that this is unacceptable, and she might even listen to your reasoning. But even then, the risk of a negative outcome down the road still exists. Well, and if she responded to my concerns by calling me an insecure, jealous guy and basically refused, then I would break up with her. I hope this video helps you to make the right decision. See you in the next video.